your hands for founder Programming Pathshala and Zenith School of AI.
Hi everyone. Am I audible till the end? Okay. Just quick introduction. My name is Vivek, and so currently I run two organizations. One of them is an edtech organization called as Programming Pathshala. It has been existing since last 10 years, and I also run a school of AI. It's basically a BTech in AI providing college based in Gurgaon. Before this, I was a software developer with Amazon. I used to work with a team called as Address Intelligence. We used to write intelligent algorithms for validating a customer address, checking whether it actually points to a valid lat long on Earth or not. And before that, I was a student like you. I was doing my BTech in computer science from IIT GGS. So I'm just a little curious to know that how many of us are doing computer science right now? Those of us who are doing computer science from this or the other college. Okay, quite a few. And how many of us are doing engineering, irrespective of? Okay, great. I was thinking that all the attendees would be from engineering background. I guess most of you are, so probably you will find this talk relevant. So the first thing that I would like to say is that degrees, they do not define career. What defines your career is your decisions. And this is a very subtle but very important point. The decision that you take at a particular point of time, it could be probably rejecting an offer from Google and joining a fast-paced startup that could shape up your career in a very different way as compared to what it would have been when you would have joined Google. I'm not saying that one is good and the other is bad. The difference is just in terms of the experience that you get at one place versus other. When you join a big organization, let's say when you join Google, Amazon, Microsoft, anywhere, you start off as somebody called as SD1 or SWE1, which is software development engineer, and your career progression is pretty well defined. You know that 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, you will be an SD2, and the 2 years you will be SD3, and then you can either become an SDM, which is software development manager, or you can become a principal engineer. And then there are different tags in different companies. Like if you talk about Amazon, there is something called as distinguished scientist. James Gosling का नाम सुना है किसी ने? Somebody who's heard of the name of James Gosling. Who is he? The father of Java. So do you know he is an Amazon employee? So he is actually a distinguished scientist at Amazon. So such people end up getting at that level. But on the other hand, if you talk about somebody like a Sam Altman, if you talk about somebody like Aravind Srinivasan, have you heard of him? Perplexity founder, yeah. Took a little unconventional path, but then ended up being at a place which is as elite, or I would say much more elite compared to that. So all that I am saying right now is just to tell you that it's decisions which matter, which takes you, long ahead in your journey. And another thing that I would add is, how many of us here truly believe that degrees from engineering perspective is enough? Anyone who believes like that? I'm happy to see that no one believes like that. If you talk about other genres like medical, it is enough. Somebody who is an MBBS can start earning, open a clinic, but BTech has no value until unless you have skills, until unless you can prove those skills. Now, the bad thing is that in a country like India, where lakhs and lakhs of people end up doing BTech, even opportunity is very less. It's really, really, really scarce. People who are from, the top elite colleges, maybe IITs and triple IITs, they still get a lot of opportunities. But if you talk about students who are not from that background, for them it becomes really, really hard to prove their mettle. Like if I have to share my story, I feel very grateful because in my third year I had an internship at Amazon and I got a pre-placement offer from there. And this is where probably I'll tell you the story of Programming Pathshala as well. So at the end of third year, I had my job offer. Fourth year was pretty chill, I would say. I did not have much to do. The grade point was also pretty good, I would say. And it was during that time when I, along with some of my friends, Trishla, who had an offer from Goldman Sachs, it's a fintech firm, and Janil, who had an offer from Flipkart, we decided that let's do something for our first year, students who joined college this very year itself. And we ran a club in college, and that club was the most boring club of teaching yoga and meditation to students, and it had the least attendance, and we wanted to, get some first yearites to join that. So we went into the lobby of first year students and we gave a talk that why you should do that. And a lot of students tell us that, hey, I mean, iska fayda kya hai? Why you are even planning to teach us? Teach us coding. You guys are already coders. If you teach us to code, then that will be something which will be amazing. And I was little surprised at that time to know that these students are from mechanical and civil. Why do they want to learn coding? The reason behind that was hidden in a simple fact. So I'm talking about 2016, which is 10 years ago. So during that time, the disparity in salary of a CS graduate versus a mechanical graduate, even from IITs, from my college, was tremendous. Average salary of CS graduate was around 20 to 25 LPA, and average salary of mechanical graduate was somewhere around 8 to 9. If they get into the best of the companies like Caterpillar or maybe Texas, something like that, there it used to be around 14, 15. That too only 1 or 2 folks. So that was a huge gap that existed. So that was a time when we thought that, hey, these guys are smart. They just got 5 or 10 marks less in JEE Advanced compared to those who ended up getting computer science, right? It doesn't mean that they should be reft off the opportunities that CS graduates have. So we started teaching them for free in one of our entrepreneurship cells. One of our college professors was very kind in giving us that room. It was a 10-day boot camp, and the hall was full, and it was an amazing, experience. So that was the time when I kind of realized that I love academics. So of course I love computer science, but on top of that I love to teach. Okay? That was how Programming Pathshala started. It started in entrepreneurship cell of IIT. Those people who studied with us were from branches like mining, ceramics, civil, and in their 4th year, 90% of them cracked companies like Razorpay, Ola, Uber, and that was the game changer. That was the time when we kind of felt that this is something which probably we should try to replicate. Okay, after 2016, when I ended up joining Amazon as a side hustle, I was doing Programming Pathshala as well. And in 2019, when the edtech revolution was at its peak, I'm not sure how many of you have heard about something called as Scalar Academy. So it was launched during that year, and so Anshuman, who was the founder, he happened to be a friend, and then I worked with them to design their first curriculum, but they had a different model to work, and I had a different thing that I envisioned to start. And then I left my job at Programming Pathshala, and at Amazon, and finally ended up starting Programming Pathshala. That is how it was born, and it has been an amazing journey because it taught me a lot other things than tech. It taught me lots of things that pertain to things like sales, how sales is done, marketing, what are the nuances of marketing, distribution, obviously this is the biggest challenge which every founder faces, who is not an Instagram or LinkedIn influencer himself like me, okay? And lot other things from the perspective of product-centered design, user-centered design, in last couple of years, we saw that Indian edtech market is changing very differently. So we had a lot of learnings. We ended up learning that students are not the right TG for us. They are not the people who can pay for premium courses. We pivoted to courses for corporates and courses for businesses. And at the same time, in order to cater to students, we launched a college, a formal college, in collaboration with a university in Gurugram. It's called as KR Mangalam University, and the name of college is Zenith School of AI. We are taking admission in BTech for this year. It's an AI native school where the aim is to teach students right from their first year how to build AI, and by the end of their final year, they should be able to build models like ChatGPT. They should be able to understand what attention algorithm is, what transformers are, and probably they should be able to build AI native ideas on their own. So that is pretty much how my journey has been. It has taught me a lot, and I am pretty much humbled by the challenges that I got to see and also the decisions that I took. If you ask me whether my decisions were right or not, going back in time, would I undo those decisions or not? I don't have an answer to that. But at the end of the day, I am pretty grateful to all the challenges and all the, I would say favorable moments that I had in my journey. Okay, thank you.